Good morning.
Good morning.
Girl, why you come up here looking like a whole meal? Woo!
Oh, you
All right, you might look like an advertiser because you ain't got your lashes on today. You advertise. You advertise.
just an advertiser. No lashes today, so just an advertiser.
Girl, you came on here looking like you was ready.
Shut up.
I said, let me go back and start again.
You look perfectly fine.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of I.Am.She. We still here. We still here.
And ain't going nowhere.
I hope your guys' day is going good so far this Saturday. I am doing great. I don't know. I feel like I want to sing today. I don't know. I just had the song play. And I had this Shaggy. Oh, you know what? Gemma been singing that damn Shaggy song. Now it's playing in my head. But she sings it like something, 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 something. Never took her eyes off me.
I don't know. What song is that?
Shaggy. She don't know the words, so she goes something, 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 something. Never took her eyes off me.
Oh, Shaggy. Like Shaggy the rapper.
Yeah. So I'm in a singing mood today. So I guess me and Jim have just been singing all morning. Ain't nobody tell you we need no acapella. You stay on your side.
Oh my God.
How was your week?
My week was great. I went to work Tuesday through. I hate work missing Mondays because when I miss Mondays, my whole week be discombobulated, and I be thinking that a day is not a day until it gets to Friday. And I know it's Friday, but all week my days has just been off, and I've been thinking like, oh my God, one day is one day, and I'm like, no, that's not it. But it's been a good week. First work week back to work, and
oh, that's right. You was on vacation. I forgot you was all the way in California.
I mean, you know how I do. It's like,
so who you brought back with you?
What did I bring back? I brought back a plant. I actually have a plant. So I'm gonna try to.
What kind of plant?
It's a
You went to California. Oh, I guess.
It was. Oh my God! So we went to the flea market. My dad has this. I don't know. He was being so anal about me not having a phone case, and I'm like, dude, the phone already messed up and cracked up at the back. What is a phone case going to do for me now?
I know David's like that too.
We went to the flea market, and of course, you know they have a ton of flea markets, but they were selling dogs at the flea market, and they were so cute.
How much?
Dogs, okay, and the dogs were like $50. But this one girl was selling like some Dobermans. My dad want me to get a protector dog, and I'm like,
how much were the Dobermans?
$400.
Oh, that's not bad. I think my mother and them paid like $3,000 or $4,000 for Bella.
Oh my, no ma'am. This
dog. Well, they went to a breeder because she's a Russian Doberman, so they went to a breeder.
I don't know what kind of Doberman she was, but they had this really, really very pretty one. She had like this rare color, and her eyes were gray. She was so adorable. And
why you ain't ordered a dog?
Somebody had already bought her.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody had already bought her. I want a dog so bad. I would take a Doberman or something like that, but I can't do like too big of a dog. I can't do like a Rottweiler or something like that. A
Great Dane.
Can't do a Great Dane. We the same height. Absolutely not. I can do like an ankle biter though. I like cute cuddly puppies.
You said an ankle biter.
But you know, my dream dog, and I say this a lot, my dream dog is to have a Labrador. They are very, very good with kids. They're a very good family dog, and I really want a Labrador.
I had a black one.
Preferably a chocolate lab.
Oh my God, they are so hard to find. That's what I've been telling everybody. I want a chocolate Labrador so bad, but they're so hard to find.
So bad. And
I had a black one when I was younger. Oh. And I had a Doberman when I was like 3 years old. I had a Doberman that was stood over top of me, but it wouldn't let nobody touch him. And I had a pit bull. What else did I have? I had a family dog. I can't remember what's the family dog that everybody gets. The little yellow dog, like the house on the prairie. I mean, what's that daggone
A
dog?
golden
Lassie.
retriever.
I had a Lassie type dog. Yeah,
A
golden
golden
retriever.
retriever.
Yeah, I heard you after I said that. Calm down.
I
Calm down.
love like little cute. Growing up, we didn't really have a dog. I don't know how this one dog came into our life. I can't remember, but his name was Toby. But he died of heat stroke because country people don't really allow dogs in their homes. They don't care if it's winter, spring, summer, or fall. So our dog died of a heat stroke. We didn't really have pets growing up. I didn't have pets growing up too much. We had fish and things of that nature, but a cat, no, we never had a cat. We only had like 1 or 2 dogs, and that was it.
I never liked cats. I'm not a cat person.
I wasn't a cat person until about maybe 10 years ago when we got our first cat, Smokey. And I fell in love with cats ever since. Like, I've always been terrified of cats. I hated cats, but getting a cat as a kitten and then letting it grow with you is what I recommend for people who don't like cats.
Right.
I recommend getting as a kitten, and then that way it can adapt to you, and you will be like, oh my God, I love cats now. Now I love cats. I cannot get away from cats.
Yeah, I'm not a cat I'm still not a cat person. I had, we have Solo, of course, which you are correct. Solo grew up with us as a baby. We got her when she was a kitten, so she grew up with us. But the thing about Solo is nobody even knows she there, because Solo don't bother nobody. Solo be out.
Cats don't really bother people. Cats don't really bother, do too much, and I like that they're so low maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
I love that you just feed them, clean their litter. That's it. You ain't gotta walk them. You ain't gotta do all this extra stuff. You can play with them if you want to, but cats are so low maintenance. And I realized, like, sometimes when you get a cat as a kitten, they adapt to your personality a little bit.
Get some ice.
I feel like they adapt to your personality when you get a cat as a kitten. They adapt to who you are and like what your family is and the family vibe. So if you have like a chill family, your cat 9 times out of 10 gonna be chill. But if you have a wild family, your cat gonna probably be wild. Like, I feel like cats adapt to their environment versus dogs. Dogs already have a personality based upon what type of dog it is. That's how I feel. But yeah, I recommend if you want a cat, get a cat as a kitten. Let it grow on you, because I will never, ever, ever buy a full-grown adult cat ever. No.
You said a full-grown.
But a kitten, I love kittens, and I will get a kitten and then let it grow with me. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I don't know. I like the cat that I have. Like I said, she's quiet. Everybody that come over our house be like, until they see that litter box, they be like, y'all got a cat?
Yeah.
I know y'all had a cat. Because half of the time you can't even find a daggone cat. And then my Uncle Gary is a cat. He is a animal lover. So anytime he comes over the house, he's like, where's Solo? Where's the cat? And I'm like, I don't know. She probably ran. Because that's another thing. She don't like people. When people come in, if you make it too much noise, she gone. She'll disappear. She don't like a lot of noise. She'd disappear. You got to find her, and the people was like, "Where your cat? I want to see him." I'm like, I don't know. You came in on 100. She gone. You got to come in on 2. You got to come in on 2. She hides. But even the kids had no problem with the cat, So, but I don't think I would ever get another cat. I'm just not a cat person. I don't think I'll ever get another cat. I'll get another. I'm a fish person. I'll stick with a fish.
What the fish do?
Nothing, exactly. Very, very low maintenance. Nothing. You can't do nothing with that fish. Exactly. I'll stick with
you need no maintenance.
I'll stick with the fish. I stick with a fish tank. I'm good with that. I'm good with a nice little cute fish tank when you first walk in the house and you see a couple little exotic fish. I'm good with that. I can't get up every time the dog need to use the bathroom. I'm not a dog person. I can't do it.
Oh my gosh. Let's get into these hot topics, guys. You are crazy. I love animals. I can't do like a super big dog, but I could do a little something. But let's transition to these hot topics. We have some great. We have a great show today. Hot topics for today. The first one I want to talk about is How soon after you have made it official with like a boyfriend or something, do you feel like they should cut off they hoes? Like, how soon? So say like a guy asks you like, hey, I want to be your boyfriend, or would you be my girlfriend or something? How soon will you give them after y'all make it official to cut off all their other
As
whatever?
soon as you say we go, as soon as you put a title on it, as soon as you say we official. I mean, I understand why. How much time you need? What you need time for? I'm confused. You act like you planning a
Okay,
wedding.
so how much time will you
What
need to
you
cut off
need
your extra people?
time for?
How much time will you need to cut off your extra people?
I hate to be the bad person. I'm a ghoster.
Oh, you a ghoster.
I'm a ghoster.
Oh.
Yeah, I just won't. I don't have. Well, I gotta explain to you. I'm a ghoster. After a while, you will get
I mean,
it.
I
Calling
don't
my
think
phone,
it's
you're
explaining.
not
I just think
answering.
it's courtesy to say, hey, you know, I'm in something now, and I don't think
No,
you know.
not really. If it wasn't never no title on it, would I owe you?
I mean, true, but I can't keep my head straight, y'all.
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I. I don't know. It might just be me that I don't like hurting people's feelings, or it might just be that
You
I
don't
just
think
never
ghosting will hurt their
felt
feelings?
like. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's. I don't like hurting people's feelings, so I just be like, they figure it out when they keep on calling me and I ain't answering no more. They figure it out. I thought that's just the thing to do. That's what you do. People get it. You stop calling me, I ain't gonna keep calling you, and then that's just it. Then you don't see them no more. You don't worry about them no more. That's just me. I don't know. I haven't done it in a long time. Y'all got to remember, I'm 13 years into this marriage, so I have not dated for a very long time. But when me and David first met and we was official, he was like, you want to be my girlfriend? I'm like, I guess so. I just stopped answering the phone for everybody else, and vice versa. He ghosts everybody too. We just kind of ghosted. Just cut
No,
everybody
I'm
off.
pulling up. You ghost me, I'm pulling up. What's the problem? Why you stop talking to me? I don't know. I don't like that. I have been ghosted, and I have ghosted someone, and I don't like how it feels. So I guess
If ain't no title on it with you, because I'm pretty sure if you didn't put a title on the other people that you out there saying, if y'all didn't have no title, I'm pretty sure they out there and they got some other things.
About a title. It's just about who was applying pressure at that moment, because
that's what I'm saying. But
the other person is always like, the other person could have been like trying to apply pressure, but this other guy was coming harder and applying the better pressure,
That's what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, most of the time it might be because they, like when Nate was talking about last week, they might have that backup that they waiting, like, okay, I need to know when this is going to happen so I can be in position to move her to first place. So you never know. So it's like, that's how I always looked at it. So it's like, okay, they be all right. They probably got something else out there, so they be all right.
How you know they got something else out there? They probably was waiting on you.
I did have one. I had one. I told this story last week. I did have one. The guy that I was messing with.
You told this story.
I told the story last week. You kept getting off the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember your stomach, you were having stomach issues. And I did have one. I had one relationship, of course, you know who I'm talking about, was in on and off for 7 years. Pop up, pop off. I go to North Virginia, he follow me. I come back, he still there again. And it just so happened, when David came around and we kind of was like, okay, I guess we're going to make this official. I had enough respect for him to tell him, like, all right, look, I found somebody.
You did?
I did. I actually did. I told him. I said, I found somebody. I'm opting out. I'm have to go.
Okay, so wait a minute. When you told him that you found somebody, were you secretly hoping that he would be like, no, I'm the one?
No, because I didn't want to keep playing. 7 years on and off.
I mean,
after 7 years on and off, if you ain't made a move, and this man made a move, because you still ain't put no title on us. So for 7 years on and off, you still ain't put no title?
Because I need it on, jerk.
Oh, God.
And it It's 11:20. So
Go all the way off the camera. I cannot win.
you make me so sweet.
Just
That don't work because
he just came in hot and heavy. He wasn't.
That's the thing. The thing with that too, Sharon, is like people will definitely come back. Like they be coming back.
Right.
They don't even be caring. Like you could be like, oh, I was in a relationship for 4 years, and then bam, as soon as you break up, he coming right back. Like, hey,
right. And I almost felt like that.
I don't like people like that pop back up after all the years, because it's like, damn, what you was waiting on my relationship.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what happened. So that one person, once
exactly.
that one person, once I say, hey, I done found somebody, he want to get serious, I'm gonna have to leave it alone. Come to find out, he had bought a ring. The person that I end up, dumping for my husband, he had bought a ring and was planning to propose to me. Come to find out from his brother.
What?
But you too late.
Oh.
It shouldn't have took you 7 years to try to decide whether I was the one.
I mean, but you got to understand that was a big age difference, and that their people at that time were still in their player stage. Most men don't grow up. Most men.
I'm not committing to.
But most men don't really grow up and realize that they want to be married until they like in their late 30s, early 40s.
He was in his 40s. What the hell are you talking about?
I mean, he was still. We ain't gonna say how old she was, but listen, he was still in his player stage. And then another thing,
and I was too. I'm playing the field too.
When it came to like that age difference, you got to understand a lot of things that you want to do, he's already done. Right. So it's like, how do you manage that when it's like, oh, I want to go here? That. That's played out. I already did that. I don't know.
I understand all that, but listen, when somebody else swoop in, you gotta know that it's a chance that somebody else gonna come in and make that leap and say, oh, you know what, this is a catch, I can't let her go. You gotta remember, it's always that chance that somebody gonna come in and close that void.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so speaking of that translates to my next hot topic. And this hot topic is based upon love. So with all that being said, a lot of people don't know what their love language is. And I'm going to explain what love language is. Love language is basically like, there's 5 different love languages. There's 5 different love languages, right? So you have physical touch, you have words of affirmation, acts of service, you have gifting, and you have I always forget this last one. You have words of affirmation, physical touch, gifting. Quality time. That's what it is. The last one is quality time. So you have physical touch, words of affirmation, gifting, acts of service, and quality time. So
I have a hard time with that.
Physical touch is basically like you like to be cuddled, or you like to be held, or you like kissing, you like random like little dances in the kitchen, and you like random hugs. You like that, okay?
That's my husband. That's David.
Really? And then you going back. Shut up. You got gifting. Gifting is like, when you're out somewhere, it doesn't necessarily have to be an expensive gift. It could just be these 2 are not doing it on this show today. I'm just not playing with Sharon and Gerard today. Not today. Then you have gifting, which is like it don't have to be anything expensive. It could just be, I was at the grocery store and I picked up your favorite snack or your favorite ice cream. I picked up your favorite whatever, or I saw this shirt at the store and it reminded me of you and I wanted to give it to you. Gifting could be anything. I was at a gas station and picked up you a pack of hot wrappers, whatever. It could be anything. A gifting is anything. That's another love language. Acts of service is like a massage, a foot rub, let me grease your scalp. They said that's a Black love language. Let me cook for you, or let me do something for you. It's basically like doing something for your person. Then you have words of affirmation, which is like, you're so beautiful, you're so handsome, I'm in love with you, you're the love of my life. I want to spend forever, which whatever that may be, whatever words your person or you may like for your person to use. And then the last one is self-explanatory, which is quality time. It's just you and your person in your element doing whatever it is y'all want to do. It could be sitting home, reading a book together, watching a movie, or going out, hanging out, whatever it is that you and your person do to spend quality time together. So those are the 5 different love languages. A lot of people don't know what their love language is. And there's tests, and I'm going to see if we can put up a link after the show to do a test to figure out what is your love language. What is it that you like for your person to do? Now, don't get me wrong. You can't just be having a little side piece or a sneaky link and then thinking that you're going to want to know what your sneaky link love language is like. No, this is for people who are in real relationships. And like, or you want to just figure out like, hey, I want to be in a relationship one day. And I want to know what's my love language. Because you can teach your other person this too. Because somebody taught me. I knew what it was, but I never really dove into it. But I know, like, I knew a little bit about it. But a person taught me to figure out how to figure out my love language. So it's a teaching process. You can teach your person this, whether it be male or female. You can teach a person to learn their love language as well as learn your love language.
So, all right, so what's yours?
What's mine? I would say my top out of all 5. I can go in order because all 5 are mine, but I want to go in order. My top would be physical touch. My second one is kind of tied. It would be either acts of service or affirmations, words of affirmation. Those are tied together at the number 2 spot. Number 3, I would give quality time. And then my last one would be gifting, because I'm not really big on surprises. I don't like being surprised. So if you're going to get me something, I would rather you not tell me, because if you do, I'm going to be like, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? I don't like surprises. So if you want to buy me something, just get it. I don't want to know you bought it. I don't want to know nothing. Just show it to me. But I'm not really big on getting things from people. I'm big on giving. I'm like a receiver. I'm a giver more than a receiver. So that's not. What about yours?
It's active. You know, I don't like nobody. You know, I don't like all that. It makes me feel. It makes me crazy. David does it all the time. He has his moments where he just wants to break down, and we might be in the kitchen. He wants to cook together. He wants to hold hands, all this. I had to change everything when we dated. Like, he wanted to stay. He was one of those people that's standing in the Walmart line and grabbed my hand, and I'm like, why are you touching me? So I'm like, why are you touching me? Wait a minute. You touching my hand. He likes to do that. He actually does that. We might be, the kids are sitting around, and he'll grab me and just do a little dance in the kitchen, a little grab and just a little type dance to some music or something like that. Me, I'm active. It's active for me. I don't get too surprised. He's also that person, I want to surprise you and give you things, gifter. But to me, it's not really a big thing. Quality time, it depends on my mood. It just depends on my mood. I might not want to deal with nobody for the day. So it depends on my mood. Which I know everybody probably looking like, how the hell he married to her? Because she just got some issues. But it just depends on my mood. Yeah, so I would just say active. That's the biggest one for me. That's my love language, active. Like, do something. Go clean up some dishes. Wash something. Make me feel good. Yeah. Make me feel good. Go wash the clothes or something. Make me feel good. Make me feel like I ain't got to do nothing for the day. Then we in love. I'm like, oh, ain't that cute? He over there washing dishes. That is cute. That's sexy. He up there mopping that floor. Woo, that's sexy.
Girl, bye.
I'm serious though. That's me. Like, I'm not. I guess it depends on the mood. Like, I think it's cute for, to have a significant other that's, touchy-feely, and they never lose that, because, everybody say marriage is really hard. The longer you in it, the harder it gets. So us to not lose that touchy, well, for him to not use that touchy feely stage, even though I'm not really big on it. I mean, yeah, he's sticking in there. I don't know what for, but he's sticking in there. I feel like he gonna kill me. Y'all better watch, because I feel like he trying to get my my life insurance policy.
So how do you adapt to his love language? I know you said he likes physical touch. How do you adapt to that? Like, how do you compromise, even though you're not like you remind me of my old supervisor who waited for her husband to open up doors for her.
Oh, doors is fine. He does that. Doors is fine.
Flowers. She hated him to kiss her. She don't like anything of like anything. She was just like, nah, I don't like it. But okay, so how do you adapt to his style of showing his love for you? How do you adapt to that?
I mean, that, like I said, like you said, everybody has their own style. And if you giving off this, oh, don't touch me, and that's, their love language, it's not going to work. So you just have to kind of bite the bullet. And I mean, I do push myself. I noticed that, like I said, marriage is really hard. It is. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm not lying about it. So sometimes you just have to make sacrifices, and which I do, I still cringe, but I still try to, if he dances, I do. I cringe.
Cringe at what?
Not emotional, like hugs and not kisses. Of course, you're supposed to kiss somebody. You love somebody, but just like he'd grab me and just want to dance around, stuff like that. Like, oh, you're making me uncomfortable because you put me on a spot. Like, things like that. Or like, what else? Like just hugs and holding hands in public, stuff like that. I'm just not really a public affectionate person. So
PDA.
Huh?
You don't like PDA?
I don't, but that's what I'm saying. I make those sacrifices. I will, like, my hands and everything is sweat. Or I'm just like kind of like this. Like, I'll take his hand. I'm not going to just go like, but I'm just kind of like standoffish. So I kind of like, oh, I don't know. I'm just weird. I feel like everybody looking at me when I'm doing that. I feel like everybody's looking when we walking, we walking down the park or something like that. Cause it's like people, especially within us African Americans, people not used to seeing that.
Yeah.
So, everybody's already looking at you, especially when they see you and y'all got 4 kids, tech dragging behind y'all, and y'all still walking and holding hands and stuff. It throw white people off. They ain't used to seeing that. Like they used to seeing that big love. So I
like seeing a black couple holding hands, showing that love for each other. I just love it. I am a hopeless romantic deep down, and I just I don't know. I think my knight in shining armor going to show up on the white horse one day, but I be having to come to reality.
You look like a holder though. You look like a holder. You look like one of them ones I might walk past and you got your whole arm around him like this, and y'all just walking and looking at each other. You just look like this type.
I am she is me. Okay. Yeah, come on, baby. Hold my hand. Let's go. We're gonna walk.
You look like the arm holder, not the hand holder. I'm talking about the arm holder where you cuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm cuffing, walking hand in hand. Look, our steps to synchronize and everything. All that.
You said our steps to sync. We gonna practice this, babe. Come on, we gotta practice this so when we get out in these streets, we got practice.
Listen, I'm all of that. I like holding hands. I like being romantic. I don't mind PDA. I don't mind PDA at all. Crystal is not camping, so shut up.
Oh, tell us about it. Come on, tell us about it. What she do with you that she could have did better? What did she do that she could have did better?
You don't like that. You don't like that. Robbie, he is messy. He came on here to be messy, and I don't have time for it today. Nope.
He's trying to help entertain.
That's right. Never backtrack. All y'all salty. Never backtrack. Listen, I'm learning to not backtrack. Don't backtrack. Right. You lost me, you gone. It's over, baby. It's all right. Especially
I mean, it's a reason why y'all not together, so I don't understand why y'all want to rework on it.
Especially if you did me dirty. Oh no, I'm never coming back. You're lost, not mine.
Right. Right. That's growing. And that's what growing. I mean, people make mistakes. You know, mistakes is to be made. That's how you learn lessons. So it just comes with growing.
Yeah, it comes with life. It comes with
Don't
life.
torture yourself, though. Don't keep trying to pull that man in and don't want to be there. Don't torture yourself. One time.
Right. You know, I think that
3, 4, 5, 6.
Waiting for what you are looking for. And that's the hardest thing about dating people. Like, we don't date for what we're looking for. If you want to be in a relationship, why would you want to date somebody who just want to see you when they want to see you?
Right.
They want to hang out with you. No.
That's because they're giving somebody else time, too.
I tell people, listen, if you don't like going on dates or you don't like going on to places, don't ask me to go with you nowhere. Don't ask me to be your nothing. I like going outside. I like being in whatever the atmosphere. I want to be with the people. I don't want to be stuck up in the house all day long.
Looking in your eyes.
I love you. No, you don't. If you love me, you would take me outside.
He wants you all to himself.
If you love me, you would take me to go get something to eat because my stomach is upset. If you love me, you love me, right?
You all to himself.
But let's get into this topic of today.
Okay. Yes. The topic of today. I saw this on Instagram, as I always do, follow social media, and I see this, and I'm like, that's interesting. I want to know what people think. So the topic of today is, I lost my train of thought. Jesus.
Narcissistic nurturing.
Yeah.
This girl. So the topic of today is narcissistic nurturing.
Because you still had me back on that other thing. I was like,
you need to focus.
I need to be more. No, because you made me start rethinking my relationship, and I had to go back into it. Like, I wonder if I be hurting his feelings. Like, I'm still thrown. I gotta come back to it.
You gotta ask your man. Are you hurting his feelings by not accepting his love language? You probably are. You so mean.
All right, narcissistic nurturing. Okay, so this topic, the way I was going was, I seen this post, and it said adult daughters of narcissistic mothers. I see it a lot. I hear it from a lot of friends around me. I don't know if I feel like that sometimes. I feel like
your mom's the narcissist or you're the narcissist.
No, I feel like, okay, so the way that it was going was, it says, quit the critical voice in your head. So think about that when you think about
okay, yeah.
Okay. And so I feel like that sometimes. I feel like certain things that, my mother critiqued and said, it's like, I feel like, I don't want to do that because what my mother did.
Yeah.
I want to do that because what would she say? And it's like everything is not correct that you were taught, because the times are changing. It's always changing. Things are always changing. For the most part, I've gotten great advice from my mother, but some things it's like, no, I don't want to do that in my relationship. No, I don't think it's fair. So, okay, so my mother is old school. For instance, my mother is very old school. And I've heard this from another married friend of mine as well. Her parents are the same way as my mom, where a man should work, a man should cover the home, a woman should never stress. A man should always be the first, like a woman should never sit there. Right. Like you just doing it because you want the extra money or, but you shouldn't have to. I don't think like that. And I feel like a lot of people from that era, from that age, especially when you have, fathers who are still in the home, parents who are still together, you get that a lot more because that's what the father did. That's what your father did. That's what your father did. So now your mother is looking at, okay, well, why your husband ain't doing this? Or why your spouse not acting this way? Or he should be doing more. He could be doing more. You don't need to do this and you don't have to do this. It's a new era. Era changes, it consistently changing. The way of the world is consistently changing, and I feel like that plays in my head. Because I feel like maybe you should be taking out the daggone trash more. But no, it's not really a girl or boy thing. If I see the daggone trash full, I'm going to take it out. I'm not going to wait for him to come home if he's been working. I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? I have 3 other boys in the house. Why am I waiting for him to come home to do it if he's been working?
Right.
Why is it not okay for us to split the bills? You know what I'm saying? Why is it not okay for me to be okay with him, with us, bringing our money together and taking care of the house? Why should he be why should everything be bared on him, on his shoulders, and then I'm just an extra, like an extra benefit?
I feel like when it comes down to stuff like that, I feel like my biggest thing is do what works for you. Like do what makes your relationship happy. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes it work for y'all. If that's what works for y'all, I don't go. One thing I've never done in my entire life was go to my mother about any opinion or any advice on a relationship, because she can't give me that. In my mind or in my reality, it is reality. My mom has never been in a real relationship, or anything real for that matter. So I can't go to her to say, hey, what's your advice on, I'm having a hard time with such and such, and he did this, and I don't like what he said. But I get the subconscious mind of you thinking like, damn, I don't want to hear my mother mouth. Like, okay, prime example. Jalen went to DC for the fight, the tank fight. And while he was in DC, some crazy guy, I don't know if he was high on whatever, but he was busting out people's car windows. And in my mind, it was like, I don't want to hear my mother mouth. I already knew it was going to be some drama or some extras behind.
So you told him not to go?
And I'm just like, listen, I'm trying to figure out how to get this thing fixed by such and such, such and such. And I'm trying to do this because I don't want to hear her mouth or what she has to say. But she didn't say anything right away. But however, days later, it was like, a big blow up about something that you already agreed to, about something that you already know about. Why would you blow up days later? And y'all know I talk about me and my mother dysfunctional relationship all the time, a very toxic relationship. But I most recently decided to permanently end that toxic, narcissistic relationship because it's not helpful to my well-being, my mental health, anything it's not beneficial for me at all. It's not getting me anywhere. I don't ask her for anything. I don't come to her for advice. So it's just like another friend or a person that I'm just cutting out of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it comes to having that type of relationship with a parent, I know people be like, well, that's your mother. And it's like, listen, I would much rather have an absent parent than to have a toxic parent in my life. And I want with people, with parents that are narcissistic and toxic of that nature, it doesn't stop when you become an adult. It gets worse. Actually, the shit gets worse. And it's like having parents or a parent who is exhibiting that kind of behavior is not helpful to you or anybody in your environment. I was reading the book. I actually got the book and I started listening to it. And it's like, one of the things that was said that stood out to me was, how do you manage cutting off that relationship with your parent and while also trying to make sure that they have a relationship with their grandchildren? And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. And it does weigh heavy on my mind. Like, do I want to cut this off with my mother? Do I want to not talk to her anymore? Do I want to not, do I want to not talk to her about things? And it's kind of hard because when we're good, we're cool. But it's just that when certain elements and certain things get involved, I don't like it. And it's like, I love you, but I'm going to have to love you from a distance now. Now I'm going to have to love you from afar. Now I'm going to have to love you from another aspect of my life. No hatred, no ill will wishing upon you, but I'm gonna have to love you differently now in a different aspect
Right.
of
I
it's
feel like I feel like for me, it's extremely hard, especially when you have, well, not for me. I feel like for someone who has kids,
mm-hmm,
like you were saying,
mm-hmm,
that is extremely hard to figure out when you have such a toxic person, a parent,
mm-hmm.
step parent, parent-in-law, um, to like,
You said something really big there. It don't just be your parent. You know what I'm saying? If you married, it could be your spouse's parent.
that's what I'm trying
It
to
could be
say.
your wife's mother. It could be your wife's father. It could be your husband's mother, your husband's
Right.
father. It could be that affects you too. I don't know to what extent, but because I'm not married, but it affects you. I've had a boyfriend where his mom was very narcissistic and very toxic to him, and it was like almost like, oh, I'm the victim here. You owe me. I'm the victim. You
Right.
have to be mindful of that too, because if you're in a relationship with somebody, be it marriage or boyfriend and girlfriend, their parent could be also a toxic person.
Very, very,
Very
very.
toxic. And we could go a little bit further. If you're dealing with somebody who has a baby mother or a baby father,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it affects us all in different ways. It affects us all in different aspects. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to point that out. You say something real big there. No, you really
But
did.
no, and that's the way, and that's kind of the way I was going. It's really hard when you have a toxic, parent-in-law, as I said. I don't know if that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, but I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna keep it.
Toxic
When you're
in-laws.
trying to, like,
Extended family.
having to when you have kids and you're trying to figure out, do I really want my kids around that person? Or am I wrong for not wanting to have my kids around that person? It's
No.
really hard. It's a really hard trying to balance that, trying to figure out, how to not be the bad guy. How, is it okay that, or not even that, not even to that extent. Let's just step back a little bit. If you marry, would it hurt your spouse's feelings if you
Mm-hmm.
feel like, or you state that, you don't want your kids around their
They're
toxic parent,
mm-hmm.
if they
Mm-hmm.
don't know, or they haven't got to the point of understanding how toxic their parent is?
Because sometimes they don't even see it. They're so
Exactly.
used to it. And because it has not become a verbal or a physical thing to them, they don't know.
Right.
And I feel like that even with my sister, like my oldest sister, she only knows what my mom says. You don't know what everybody else have to go through. See, everybody has a different relationship with her. And that could be for anybody. Like it could be like your spouse. Your spouse don't know what you're feeling. Your spouse don't know what his sister or his brother or her sister may be feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because the parent could be one way towards you and be a whole nother way towards a sibling or a spouse or your spouse. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So for that person, they have to sit back and say, hold up, wait a minute. This is not the first time that my husband or my wife has said they don't like what my mom or my dad said to them or has been treating them. Let me take a step back and see what is really going on. Because a lot of men and women be like, that ain't my mother ain't like that. My father ain't like that. They
Right.
not like that. No, they wouldn't
Because
say
they
that.
used to it. They used to
And
it.
they don't know that subconsciously it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's like,
Right.
yeah, they do it to you too, but not in the aspect that they do it to everybody else.
One
And
big thing that I say that I wish I would have known, and I want a lot of people to pay attention to. I wish, like I said, I wish I would have known going into a marriage is pay it. You gotta pay attention to, like, don't just get to know that person, get to know their family so you know what you're getting yourself into.
mm-hmm.
Get to know their family so you know what you're getting
Yeah.
yourself into. Because when you get to a point where y'all start having kids and now you got kids involved, it's bad enough that you an adult, so you can kind of deal with it and say, you know what, I choose not to deal with this person, or I choose not to deal with this situation. Your family is toxic, so I'm just not gonna go around them. You can go see them. I'll see you when you get back, but I'm just not gonna choose to be around them. But when you got kids and things like that, and then you have kids involved, it's hard to explain to them without, being mean, or for them to understand, hey, this is not okay. This is not the way that life is supposed to be. So no, I need for you not to be around your grandmother. I need for you not to be around your aunt. I need for you not to be around your uncle. They don't understand that, because all they want to know is, oh, I got an aunt, I got an uncle. They fun. Da 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 da. Because they're not giving them that same energy.
Exactly.
They're not gonna give the kids the same energy.
What I'm realizing even now, I'm gonna just turn that back on to my situation. With my mother, she started out real good with her grandkids, but it's like once they get older and then they become opinionated, because the way that my siblings are raising their kids is like, you're not being disrespectful if you tell a person how you feel or what they said, how it made you feel. And that's how I'm raising my child. Well, Jalen is 20. One thing is for sure, two things for certain, he's not disrespectful, but he gonna be like, look, you're not gonna talk to me like that. You're not gonna be, I don't care who you are. As long as I'm not being disrespectful towards you, you're not gonna be disrespectful towards me.
Absolutely.
But parents and grandparents have to understand that when you are lashing out at your child and then you take that to another level to lash out at the grandkid, that is a level of no that no one should tolerate. You know
Absolutely.
what I'm saying? And like I said, you have some women or some mothers and fathers who do that so subtle. They be like, oh, they'll do it to you in a little bit, but then they'll take it to an extreme with somebody else and their kid. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that, because I feel like, when you have that type of mentality, I don't want you around my kid now.
Right.
I don't want you around nobody.
Right.
I don't want there be 1, 4, or 10. I don't want you around none of my kids, because now you're taking that. Now you're taking what you gave me and giving it to them. And that's unfair for them, and they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. So learning people family is important. Like for me, boyfriends and stuff, I don't really like them meeting my mom. I don't really like them having any type of relationship with her, because I know how she is. I know her period, and I don't really care to have that type of involvement with, oh yeah, let's go over my mother's house, let's go do this, let's go. No. It's like, oh, you want to meet my mom? I'm like, I don't know if I want you to do that, and it sometimes it plays on my subconscious, because I have met men who have great relationships with their mothers, who have great relationships with their fathers, and I'm like, damn, they want to go come meet mine, and I'm gonna be like, no, you can't meet my mother.
And then it's like, how they gonna take it? They're gonna feel like,
yeah, because everybody, and I know this is just even down to my friends, I don't let a lot of people meet her, because a lot of people don't know how to. I don't know. They don't know how to take it.
How to take her? Yeah, I get it.
Like she's even with Nate, he said before, invite your mother on the show, and I'm like, Nate, I don't have that kind of mother. I don't have that kind of mother like Kia got. My kid mother and my mother are two totally different aspects of mothers. You know what I'm saying? Her mother made, for me, your mother is top tier. You know that for me. Your mother is always top tier in my book. Mine, mine couldn't come on this show and be for real and be serious about nothing. Precious said, but they do, and the kid doesn't. I owe better, but they think
doesn't know better.
Doesn't know better. Okay, and they think it's how people act or treat. Yeah, and they think it's okay.
It's normal. Yeah,
they think it's normal. That shit ain't normal. Plus, you'll understand the person better too. Yeah, you'll definitely understand the person better if you say like, hey. And for me, I don't let a lot of people meet my mother. I don't, unless we out in the atmosphere, controlled, and I may run into her or something, or I'd be like, damn, I ain't want him to meet her. Shit. But that's
Do
just how.
you ever give an explanation though? Like if you're in a relationship that's that serious,
That's
do you
serious.
give an explanation or do you just kind of stay away from it? I feel like explanation should be given. I mean, I feel like if you with somebody that's serious enough, I feel like an explanation, or you should let them know ahead of time, like, hey, this is our relationship. It don't have to be too deep, like down to your childhood. I got whipped 1,000 times for lash and stuff. But to the extent of, okay.
I give people, you told me years ago to cut her hair. So I give people to a certain extent, if we're in a serious relationship or we're heading in a serious direction, I tell them to a certain extent, like, hey, she never raised me. I don't really have that great of a relationship with her. Like she'll tell people, oh, that's my best friend, but I'm not really her best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I tell people bits and pieces. And then once we get like deep into it, I'll be like, look, this is what it is with her. This is how it is. And this, that, and the third. And then I let them go from there. I let them, the only person that really knows in depth the amount of shit that we've been through is Gerard. Because he's seen it. He's even experienced it. He's been there from the start, from my entire time of being here in Baltimore. It's like he knows, he's the only person that knows the great extent of how toxic our relationship is.
Now I want to play back to what he just said. You just like, I don't agree with that, but do you feel like you have?
He know I don't like when he say that.
Do you feel like you have instances? Do you feel like certain instances you have where you have to think back, like, damn, I'm acting like her?
Yeah. Even when it come down to like when I'm asked, I try to let Jalen be as independent as possible. But I'm like, where you going? What you about to do? What you doing this? What you doing? And I have to think like, Crystal, mind your damn business. I had to think and say, Crystal, no, don't do that. And it's some things where I'd be like, I have something, everybody has something from their parent. Everybody has something. So to say that I'm just like her, he knows that I absolutely positively hate when he say that, because I'm nothing like her. Nothing. We're two totally different people. However, do I grab something from her that I maybe shouldn't have grabbed? Yes, I can say that to be a fact. Even like my dad, I'm like my dad in ways. I'm looking at my dad over the weekend and I'm like, damn, I do that too. I do that too. Like I'm just like you. But it's like, for him to say, oh, you just like her, I hate when he says that. And he lucky I don't tell Nate to block his ass. But I hate that shit. I'm sorry, but I can't stand when he says that. It burns me up because we are nothing alike.
Right.
We're not.
That's what I said. I don't agree. From knowing you as long as I did, from knowing your mother as long as I do, I don't agree. I don't think you guys have the same. I don't think you guys are alike. I've seen, the side of her too that you're talking about. So I know you ain't nothing like her. But you do tend to pick up, at the end of the day, it is your parents, so you do tend to pick up their ways in some instances that you don't.
We all do.
I feel like sometimes that my mother can be a little controlling, and I find myself doing that in my own relationship. I feel like like I said, the thing going back to the thing with the trash or wanting the house cleaned a certain way. My husband will say it, and it's funny because now I'm starting to really notice it. Like, you ain't cleaning it right. Just move. Let me do it. Or you ain't doing it when I need it done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up and do it.
You know what that is? You're not doing it to my standards.
Right.
You're not doing it when I want you to do it.
That's how.
And that is something we have to work on.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I get that from my mom, though. I get that from my mother, and I can be controlling sometimes. That that all plays in the same controlling. I get that from her, and I have to step back. But I'm actually, like you said, I am learning to pay attention a little more as I'm getting older. I'm learning to pay attention and say, wait, no. Why you just act like your mama right there? Back up and let that man do it. Why that need to be done right now? It's gonna get done. Like, he is not a child. Like, I have to really tell myself, he is not a child. Stop talking to that man like that. You gonna lose that man because you pushing him away. So that's really what when, like you said, if you read the book, that's really what is getting into, like those thoughts that play in your head, like why I'm acting like my mom.
Why
I'm
am I
acting like
acting
my
her?
mom. Right. So it's like just trying to do better with that. And I feel like I was waiting for you to finish because when we first started, I feel like I think that is like a downfall as far as a lot of females not being able to find or have a relationship or find that someone that that they end up with, marrying and things like that. I think for females particularly, that plays a big part in there when it comes to their relationships,
it does for
because
me.
they can't get that mom out the back
Out
of
the
their
head.
head. And you have to separate yourself from that.
For me,
really.
for me, it's like I don't really involve her in my relationships, like I said at first, but I'd be wanting to be like, damn, I wish I can go to my mother and get some advice about what to do about this or what to do about that, when it comes to a man or, I don't have a husband, but when it comes to a boyfriend, what you think I should do? And it's like, in her mind, girl, excuse my language, y'all know y'all don't like to hear me cuss, but fuck him. That's the first thing she gonna say. And it's like, I want to be able to go and have that mother figure that I can be like, I don't know what to do. He said this or he did this and I don't know how to think about it and without having that automatic, like, girl, that. So it's kind of hard to
sometimes you just want somebody to listen. You just want somebody to be there and
yeah,
listen to you without a response. You don't need a response. I think and I'm the same. I'm the same way. I don't like to go to my mother for relationship advice, which I've gotten to a point, and I don't know if this is good advice, but I have been following, the thing with social media that they play over and over. You keep your relationship within your relationship. When there's a problem, you discuss it amongst each other and not everybody else. I don't know if that plays into it, but in some ways, I feel like I'm just scared of the response that I'm gonna get. So I just rather not say.
From your spouse or from your parent?
From a mother, yeah, from a mother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It might be right. It might be good advice, but I am.
But sometimes that ain't be what you want to hear.
Right. There we go. That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I'm saying that it's like, no, that's not what I wanted you to say.
Right. That's not what I'm trying to get to.
Different, like, I get it. Yeah, I totally understand. That's how I be feeling sometimes when I talk to certain people about a relationship. That ain't what I wanted you to say.
Right.
Not to put me on the ledge. I want you to
talk you off the ledge.
No, you push me.
But sometimes it is good advice. Sometimes
it is good advice.
It's time for him to go.
We also have to stop letting people play into our minds. You know what I'm saying? We do that a lot as individuals, as humans. Actually, we let people play into.
Absolutely.
We let people play into our mind.
Absolutely.
We let people play into what we got going on, and it's like, shit.
I feel, and see, that's why I can say I'm not really, based upon not my own personal experience, because I've got great friends. You all are great. But I prefer not to discuss certain situations because you don't know what that person's intent is behind telling you what they telling you when you just coming to them for advice. That's one thing I've learned. Like I said, I'm not saying anything personal about y'all. Y'all always gave me great advice. I have great friends. I have a small group of friends. I like it that way. We talk when we do. We don't when we don't. It's fine. I like it that way. Y'all know me. Y'all know sometimes I want to be bothered. But
listen, no, I understand because I have that too. Like, I have a small group of friends. I got a friend that I know that's going to turn up when I'm ready for her to turn up. I got a level-headed friend. I got a friend that's going to be like, I don't know, Crystal. That could have been. It could go either. I have 3 different friends that I go to for 3 different reasons.
Right.
And it's like, if I want somebody to be pissed off with me and want to roll with me, I go to Nikki for that. If I want my friend to be like, well, Crystal, well, what did you say? Or I don't know, you might be right. I go to Sharon for that. And if I want a friend that's going to be level-headed and be like, well, Crystal, well, what did you do? And how did that? I go to you for that. You know? I got 3 different friends.
I'm not talking bad about nobody. I'm not talking bad. You know, I don't want to be that one. I'm not going to be that one that you going to look at later on.
I want to say this nigga did something to me that I know I did to him. I'm going straight to Nikki because she going to ride out for me. One thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. I can call on to me.
I don't like that because I don't want to be that person that you going to turn around and look at like, and yeah, by the way, I'm still with him, but just what you had to say about him, this how you really feel. You're not going to do me like that. I'm not going to be that person. So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give y'all equal opportunity. That's what I'm going to give y'all, equal opportunity.
Yeah, you're not going to be that person to be like, she bringing him to the cookout. Nikki gonna be like that, but she gonna be like, I don't like how you doing my friend.
Exactly.
Like, I don't like how you treating my friend because she a good woman and she deserves better than that.
Everybody don't like that though, because then some people just feel like, some guys just feel like, damn, you telling her everything about her.
Exactly. Sharon gonna be the one to be like, I just want y'all to get it together. Sharon gonna hit both sides. Sharon gonna hit both sides, but she's still gonna be on my side. She gonna hit both sides, but she gonna be on my side. You're gonna be like, well, Crystal, I just think that maybe you should calm down.
No, it depends on the situation, because some situations I'll be like, where yet?
This new Kia, I don't know who she is. This new Kia is like, Crystal, well, maybe let me just
try to be calm.
You're like, let me just call him and talk to him.
I'm trying to be calm.
I'm gonna call him a little later, and I'm gonna just see what's going on. I'm like, no,
because I'm not gonna be the one. You're not gonna put me. I told you how our relationship go. I'm gonna tell you what I thought after y'all done. Then I'm gonna tell you everything I thought after y'all done, and I know you good and rid of that dick. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Everything that I thought.
Exactly.
You was with him. Wow. Exactly. Did you even see him? Did you look at him twice? What's your issue?
I swear to God, that's how it be. But
not before.
Not before.
Me and Gerard is best friends. See, to the end. That is my best friend. I like Gerard because Gerard, I feel like when it comes to you, even though a lot of people, especially men, they take that and they feel like you still gotta talk to your ex. I feel like he gonna give it to you raw, and he's not gonna be, it's not gonna be within his personal feelings, for whatever y'all got going on. It's just gonna be what it is. He giving it to you from a guy version.
True.
He just giving it to you from a guy version. So, and a lot of people, I feel like that can play a little bit. I feel like that can play a little bit on y'all, on your relationship, because the guys that you date, they really don't know that. They just know, oh, this an ex dude. That she, that she keep, why he around? Like, he really don't have no purpose. But that's one thing I can say I like about y'all relationship. So yeah, that's my best friend. But anyway, we already did that. Don't care. I don't know. But anyway, guys. Oh, here she comes.
We don't want our friends to be totally honest with us and then give us the friendship advice. That's right. That's right. That's when I need that. I need that. When I need that, oh, he fucked up, I go to her. That's who I go to. That's my he fucked up go-to person.
Oh God.
That's my oh no. That's my neutral in between friend is Sharon. My neutral in between, but I don't know. Both of y'all are little, but when I need that person to turn up with me and we gonna ride her.
I think most of the time that's what you be wanting anyway. You just be wanting that friend to just go after him. Like, yeah, he was wrong. You just got this type of attitude where you just not wrong. Like, he's wrong. he's wrong. He gonna always be wrong. And I think that's the person that you always need anytime you call for advice. I don't think you really want to hear nothing else. Oh, these comments is crazy.
I
He
think
call you. He not.
When it comes to the narcissistic ways of, I went to a after pass repass yesterday. The after party, and this young man, he was killed about a week or two ago or whatever, and his mom, from the age of 5 to 17, he was raised by his aunt. So his aunt raised him from when he was 5 up until he was 17. He's had a dysfunctional relationship with his mother, and the last thing the mother said to him was basically, "You're dead to me." And a week later, he was dead.
Oh my God.
And parents, I want y'all to realize how that shit will eat you up so bad.
I would never.
I share personal things on this show.
I would never, even if I had a child, Lord forbid, that was stealing from me, I would never.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had, everybody, well, personally, on the personal side, I do have that one brother that's what he did. He just stole stuff. He had a drug problem. So he stole stuff. He stole a lot of stuff from me. My very first baby shower, me having my very first baby, I promise y'all I had over $2,000 worth of gifts because that was my very first baby and my parents go all out. So he stole everything after the baby shower, returned it. I had nothing for my child. Nothing. No clothes, nothing. No stroller, nothing for the baby to sleep in. Nothing for my baby shower. That's still my brother. I talk to him till this day. I give him the best advice. I don't go back. I don't look. I don't say, F that. F him. He did to me. Da, 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 da. I would never. I could never. I could never. Like what? I don't know. I don't think it's anything that could make you say that unless your child is out there beating your tail.
I don't think
the child is physical.
My mom
and you in a corner shaking like, my son keep beating on me.
Always overshadows the root of the problem. My mom sent me, we had a disagreement about 2 weeks ago and a week ago. And she sent me a very, very, very disturbing message. I don't know if I feel comfortable with sharing it right now, but I'm in the gist of it. It was kind of like the same verbiage, and it hurt me because I'm like, what if I do die? I have some questions to add to this. Go ahead. It hurts when it comes from your parent, especially from a mother. Like you said, I'm that type of mother. I don't give a damn what my son does to me. I will never, ever, 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 whether I had 1 or 16 kids, I would never turn my back on my kid. I cannot. Everybody goes through different things in life. And this is what I want narcissistic parents to understand. You have your life to live. Your shit.
Say it again.
Live your life. Live your life. Because when you die, you got to think about, what the fuck did you really teach me? You talking down on me, talking bad to me, it's not going to build a better me. You know what I'm saying? That's going to cause more
because
problems.
You want me to act a certain way. You want me to be a certain way that you want me to be.
Here's the thing. When I die or you die, whoever died first, I'm going to still be me and you was going to still be you.
Absolutely.
And I tell my mother this all the time. Stop pressuring Jalen to have his life together at 20. No 20-year-old out here has their life together. Not set in stone, but at the same time,
I think that may be her trying to live through him for what she's making up for herself, right?
You have your shit together at 20. By the time you were 20, you were on your 3rd child. Stop thinking that you had your shit together, you was in school, you had a job, and you did this at 20 years old. You didn't even have anything. He has way more at 20 than you have now at 50. And it just pisses me off because I want narcissistic parents to realize it not only affects you, but it also affects the grandkids. Sometimes the best thing a mother can give their child is absence. Sometimes that is the best thing that they can give their child. And don't come back. Because a lot of these women be knowing that they fucked up in the head and they be trying to pass that on to their kids or their grandkids. And it's like, no, I don't want to give that to mine. You know, if
Right.
I knew I was a ain't shit mother and I had this and I had these problems, I'm not going to try to build that on with a kid and then make
Right.
that kid build that on with their child. That's
Right.
a generational curse.
Absolutely.
It's a generational curse, and we have to understand that stuff like that really trickles down the line. And it's like it comes to a point where somebody got to be like, enough is enough. It stop. The bus stops here. You know, the bus stops here. I'm not giving that to my grandkids. I'm not giving that to my kid. I'm not giving it to my great grandkids. I'm not doing it. I'm not even giving it to my nieces and my nephew. You
I'm
know,
a, I'm gonna add just a couple because I love how organic the conversations are. And I say organic not to say you just off the top of your head with this topic. But if you notice in the ad, I changed the wording of it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I do that not to because I think I had a better idea, but words are powerful, and
Mm-hmm.
words have. One of my mentors taught me this. Latanya Valencia Mars, Dr. Latanya Valencia Mars.
Yes.
Um, Words have innate qualities. They have to seek out the mission of the tongue. And we've had this conversation back and forth, and I've shared, I'm one to talk,
Right.
my relationship with my parents. But the
Mm-hmm.
thing that I am actively doing, and I am so thankful for the pandemic because it gave me time to be by myself. Even though I tried to figure every way to be with people and start podcasts for I.Am.She and really give myself an excuse to be around people. But one of the things that I am meditating on now is grace. And we've talked about this before. And there's no excuse for toxicity. But I think the word narcissism has been like a big eraser for
Mm.
people. And we, as
Mm-hmm.
black people specifically, everything that triggers me, that appears to be like the trauma that I've gone through, that resembles the struggles that I had, narcissism. We all have it. We all have narcissism in us. It's just to what degree are you working on it? Where are you with it? Because many of us, when we're in our triggers and our traumas, it's so
Mm-hmm.
easy for us to displace the anger. And the comment that I made to y'all just now, we often take the behavior and focus on that, and we totally disregard the root of it. If somebody would have stepped in when R. Kelly was 10 and said, Mom, I'm not going to allow you to treat him like that. His sister allegedly raped him, did something with her. Do you think we would have had the R. Kelly we have today?
No.
And that's no excuse for nobody's behavior because it's happened. But
Right.
as black people, and this is something I've always searched for, at what point are we going to take accountability as aunts, as cousins, as neighbors, as educators, as priests, whomever? Because the parent didn't have that child in a bubble. That child passed through. One of the most hurtful things that an aunt said to me was, I saw, she said, I'm so proud of you. She said, you've had to deal with so much. And in my mind, I thought I was good at hiding it. So as my aunt, you saw it and
Mm.
you said nothing. You didn't encourage me. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't give me any of those indications that, hey, you gonna get through this. And I
Mm.
understand other people can't give you what they haven't been given, but for
Right.
you to acknowledge that
Acknowledge that. Yeah.
as family, we have to start dealing with each other. I have a lot of ancestral trauma in my family, a lot of rape, molestation, drug abuse, and
Mm-hmm.
all of it is a symptom or the outcome of a deeper problem. And in every situation, somebody touched them inappropriately, so they wouldn't touch somebody else inappropriately. And it's
Mm-hmm.
a cycle. I have
You have
I
to
have
break
people
it.
in my family that are stuck at an age that they were touched. And I'm thankful that I don't look like what I've been through. But at some point, as Black people, I don't give a fuck about no other race at this
Me
point.
either.
As Black
You-
people, we have to figure out a way not to just deal with each other,
Right,
but to really step in when it's an inkling or a red flag.
right,
We step in when it's a blaring signal and everybody can hear the shit.
Yep.
When your
Yep.
family member is on the news for putting his dick in a little girl, that's when we step in and, oh my God, you knew he was something was wrong.
right.
And if
And
you
that's
go to a parent as a sibling, as a aunt, as a social worker, as a teacher, and that parent does nothing, then you go over their head. Because that narcissism that we speak of, that toxicity that we speak of, that is coming from somewhere.
mm-hmm.
And you can't just take that child over to your house on the weekends and send their ass back on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You're disrupting that child's natural growth by doing nothing. I know you were trying to address the parent in this situation, but there's a village of people that stand around. They talk about how people put their phones up now. Well, imagine somebody just looking, no phone, no cameras. They just paying attention to your trauma and just waiting for you to turn out like ain't shit.
Yep.
And I hear y'all
You said
conversations,
it.
and
You
I
said
be
it.
bubbling, not necessarily of how y'all feel, but the reason y'all have to feel that way. The reason, and you can give your child all the stuff and what you perceive as love, but if that child not receiving it, they're gonna be standing in a Kmart with their man too uncomfortable to hold his hand. And I heard you say that, KD, but I feel that physical touch makes me very uncomfortable. And I'm thankful for specifically a lot of the men and women in the arts that have forced me to be more affectionate physically. And now I notice me giving that to other people, and it shocks the hell out of me. But
Mm.
toxicity will tell you, if your mother ain't tell you she loved you until she was on her deathbed, that's gonna fuck you up as an adult.
It's gonna mess you
Right,
up. It's gonna completely mess you
It's
up.
gonna mess you up.
right.
So that was my thought
I
in
think,
this. I know I
which
said I had questions,
I
but
think you,
ultimately my question to you is, how would you want to be handled if you were that narcissistic parent? How would you want to be
that's a
handled?
good one.
Not
That's a
to
good
flip
one.
it on
I
you, but
don't think
just
it's no,
asking.
for me, that's a hard one because
Mhm.
how do you have that, um, how do you have that uncomfortable conversation? I can't find myself to have an uncomfortable conversation that doesn't feel disrespectful because I was always brought up that adults are right. You listen to adults. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm never disrespectful to an adult in any manner, any shape or form. I've never questioned
Mhm.
or, said anything out of place to say, no, you weren't right or no. I've never been taught to have that uncomfortable situation, conversation that's not disrespectful
I
or
get
not
that because
to,
we were raised in that generation of
Yeah.
parents where you listened and you took heed and you followed through with it. But at the same time, if you hurting me doesn't hurt you,
You oh,
you fucking crazy. If you don't think I'm gonna say something,
you crazy if you
and
think I
that's
ain't
something I had to tap into my millennial self. Go ahead.
you crazy if you think I ain't gonna say nothing. You crazy. You out your rabbit ass mind.
so to the extent
Mm.
of, I would say to the extent of like my in-laws, I just choose to distance myself. It's just too much. You can't, what my mother told me was you can't repair somebody that doesn't want to be fixed or doesn't know that they need fixing. So just distancing myself is the best thing for me. Distancing my kids is the best thing for me. I don't need to have that uncomfortable conversation because technically you're not my parent and I don't have to deal with you.
Yeah. I feel like, going back to
But
what
what
you
does
said.
that teach our young people in terms of how to deal with tension or struggle or conflict?
I
How does that
understand, but if
teach?
you
We just
have someone that
cut
you
off our
try,
arm, we cut off our. Mm-hmm.
I understand that, but if you have someone that you try and understand, you try to have, tell them and bring it to, and they just not ready to change themselves. It's basically like talking to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You're
It's
not
not
going to keep, is it
So
okay?
don't
Do you want to keep pushing
misunderstand
and
me. Don't
pushing and
misunderstand
pushing?
me. If you have somebody beating up on you, molesting you, I'm not saying figure out how to be family with them, but skipped over how do you have uncomfortable conversations? You have uncomfortable conversations
Right.
because
You
that
have
same
uncomfortable
thing
conversations.
is true.
Exactly.
Because what happens is we are teaching our children how to stay silent and not
Absolutely.
speak what's on their heart and not to have a voice. And it's not just about being friends because you may tell that uncomfortable truth and never see that person again in your life.
That's
Planted a
true.
seed. Now they can't say nobody never said anything to me. Nobody never and I'm watching the two of you grow and have a stronger voice from when I first met y'all had all these ideas and didn't know how to speak them. And now I'm watching you all articulate how you really feel about stuff. And it's nothing new. It's nothing this platform brought to you. It was a choice that you're starting to make now and telling your truth. And for
Right.
me, it is not about how you word things, but it's all in how you word things. Because if I speak this truth into my relationships, it won't ever get better.
It won't ever get better.
Right.
If I'm comfortable with simply throwing away something that God gave me, I am just as much the problem as I'm claiming that person is. Because that
Right.
situation didn't just come because it's Tuesday. It was a test in both of your lives. So now we're comfortable as black people with both of us failing the pop quiz and just not
Right.
doing anything about it. And I'm speaking really to myself in this situation, but it's a consistent thing that I noticed within our black culture. We are so comfortable writing people off versus having the uncomfortable conversations. I mean, that's gonna end the same way. So let me just save myself the trouble and the anger, but you're
Now,
still angry.
I get what you're saying
You're
now.
still frustrated.
You're still
Right.
frustrated.
Like you still write them off,
So
but at least they know.
I
like I
get what he's saying.
caution anybody to, if anything, work for 1 month. You are going to see children in today's world looking like they about 80 years old. And triggers and the consistency they get from their parents and their village on how to treat somebody else. I wanted to play a video for you all of the little girl fighting, and it hurts me that I back to a school and work again. But
Mm-hmm.
I'll be damned if that's
Oh, the little
every
girl that fought her
day.
teacher. The little girl that fought her teacher.
Right.
I saw
The
that
lady
today. I
broke
saw
her
that.
leg.
Her
And
leg.
guess what they're gonna do to that little girl? Little girl, after they send her to a facility for 30 days, they go put her
They're gonna
back
let her
in
right
that
back to
same
school.
classroom
Mm-hmm.
where that
Mm,
teacher is.
mm.
Tamika said,
But
"Baby,
we can't blame that little girl. Somebody taught her that
got you."
instruction in life. It, it's uncomfortable for me to continue to see, feel like I'm powerless because nobody else wants to try.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I
That's
think
I'm gonna be very transparent, and it may make y'all uncomfortable. uncomfortable. So hold on to your seatbelts.
Let me hold on to my wig
Your
and my
friend
hat.
Tamika and I, no, hold on to it. Your friend Tamika and I had a uncomfortable closure. And I don't know how to be angry. I don't know how to be frustrated. I don't know how to hold on to it. So it makes me mad that I mad and feel something in a moment. One of the last things we said in that argument, I asked her, I said, "Do you not think I'm human?" And her response in her anger was, and I sit on that and I meditated on that for a long time. And I said to myself, it was the energy you were putting off trying to. So anybody that got into any type of you saw from you unhuman like qualities. So I can't be mad that somebody said it in the heat of an argument.
Right.
And
Right.
even now, I'm accustomed to just getting through things. I don't want to do that anymore. I have to be a whole human being. So now I'm cordial with people who may not like me, who may not want to deal with me, who may have gotten into an argument or a rift. I have the uncomfortable conversations. I it will not fulfill whatever that thing is in me that needs to grow.
Right.
Even if it's uncomfortable speaking to Tamika while store. Even if it's uncomfortable to me, I have to listen to God and have the uncomfortable moment. And it's real for me. I'm not being fake or phony. It's just I don't know. I was never taught how to deal with conflict in a real way. Not like, you take a conflict resolution class or workshop. I know how to do the psychology shit. But the real stuff is the daily application.
The
And
real stuff.
I hear all that you're saying, but we have to do better together. It's not just me, because if I do get better, say that parent who is a narcissist, help that's needed, then what? You're not going to. Then what?
Absolutely.
So we're not, just like jail isn't for rehabilitation at this moment. So is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about moving past something. It's about staying there. That's how we deal with it now. We stay in whatever that anger is. We stay in whatever that frustration is. And that's comfortable to us. And that just yields the next generation, because we're showing them how to respond. That's why children out here talking like out the side of their neck. Because that's how their mother talks to their father and vice versa.
Oh, that's how their mother talk to them.
Right.
That's how their mother talk to them.
Yeah.
Girl, go ahead.
But no, you're right. This is why that's why I was saying earlier, I don't allow a lot of people to be in the presence of my mother, because she has the mentality of, this is who I am, this is how I'm going to talk, this is this, and I have to explain to certain people, like, I know I get frustrated with it, and I know I don't like people talking to me any kind of way, so I know the next person not going to like it either. So I try not to have that engaging experience with certain people in her, because I know how she's going to come off. I already know what she's going to say. I already know how she's going to feel. And it's like, I don't want you to do that. I know you and I know her, and y'all ain't going to work,
So when y'all out and y'all may go to a happy hour, are you in that moment waiting for the pendulum to swing back? Because you're in a good space in that moment. Are you constantly thinking about that pendulum swinging back?
Absolutely.
So you're never really present in that moment?
No. Because I'm thinking ahead about, okay, prime example. Wait, let me just read what Tamika said. And I grew up around a lot of confrontation, and I have to be able to have any type of conversations that need to be had. And it's not always negative most times, but the endings are beautiful and people gain better understanding. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So prime example being, I told you that the week before, a week ago, we had got into an altercation because it stemmed from me not wanting her to just jump in a stranger's car.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, she said something to me of the effect of, I wish you just die. Why don't you just die? And seeing her this week was like, oh, hey, girl, this is her to me. Hey, you can't speak to me? You don't want to speak to me? And I'm like, you just wished death on me. Not only did you verbally say it, you texted me and told me you want me to die. So
Has she ever been analyzed or?
She sees a therapist every week, but she plays on that therapist's mind because she tells the therapist she's fine. She doesn't really get down to the nitty gritty of, oh, I had a disagreement with somebody or my child, and I need to figure out how to make this right. No, it's girl, I'm fine. But it's like shopping at the same grocery store for 20 years and everybody knows what you're gonna get. It's like living in the same neighborhood and everybody knows, oh, she'll be home every Thursday at 8:00 because she probably went to happy hour after work. That's what it's like. So we're not gonna expect anything to deviate from that.
So if her doctor called you in and said, I think your mom is bipolar, how would that make you feel?
It would be true because she is.
But no, how would that make you feel?
It would make me feel. It wouldn't make me feel any kind of way because
would it validate what you've gone through in these 30-some years of your life?
No, absolutely not. It doesn't validate it at all.
So what may be a brick wall in her mental health, you can't associate that with how you've been treated in the 30-some years of your life.
I wouldn't say 30-something years, but I would definitely say in the past 20.
Mm-hmm. So you see her addiction, her behavior, her attitude as what is wrong in your relationship?
No. I see her behavior, aside from addiction, I see her behavior, her mannerisms, her lack thereof of certain things as what's wrong with our relationship. Somewhere in these last 20 years, she has held a grudge or some type of ill will towards me for some reason. And I don't know if it stemmed from me having to being forced to live with her, or if it came at, okay, when I moved to Baltimore, I don't know what she was expecting from me. I don't know what she wanted from me. But, I did get pregnant at 16. I had my child at 17. I don't know if it came from that disappointment. I don't know if it came from, I thought you was going to have a gang of motherfucking kids and you only got one and you still super exceeded every expectation I had from you. And I'm mad at you because you are everything that I was not and everything that I am not.
Wouldn't that make you mad? Wouldn't that make you mad if everything you did was fucked up and your child came out and learned that lesson in one stroke?
Absolutely it would. No. You know what? I'm not going to say absolutely it would. I'm going to say it wouldn't for me. But as a person of her caliber, absolutely it would. Because deep down, one of her kids is supposed to be a crackhead or some type of drug addict, to where as though they don't have custody of their children. They are not a fit parent. They are not a fit person. They're not this, they're not that. So in some aspect of her thinking, I'm pissed off at each one of my kids, or I'm pissed off at two of my daughters who have kids, and they are nothing like I was, but in an aspect, I wanted them to be having a whole gang of kids, having no relationship with their children, strung out on drugs, or either some type of alcoholic or some type of dysfunctioning adult, to where as though I can say, ha ha, see, one of them turned out like that. You know what I'm saying?
So you think so in your opinion, you think she expects for one of you all to be like that?
In my opinion,
do you think the expectation just in general is that may have happened to one of you all?
I think the expectation came for a majority of us, maybe like 2 or 3 of us, because only 3 of us actually ever lived in her presence or for a long period of time. So I'm gonna say out of the 3 of us that has lived with her for a very long period of time, the expectation was that one of us ended up on drugs, strung out, a bunch of kids, no relationship with them, and essentially following in her footsteps. Does that make sense?
And often when you have an addict parent, it sometimes it will force you to do the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And
But it
or
also, but it
what
forces them to not want to feel like you're going to be the exact opposite. It forces them to feel like one of you motherfuckers is going to follow behind me.
Maybe so she can have somebody to
say, ha, see, I told you. She's one of those people.
No, I mean somebody that she can feel, because technically it's no bridge. It's no bridge that technically connects her to each of her kids, because all of you have exceeded her expectations. So it's no bridge to specifically connect you. So that may be her issue, that she doesn't feel a connection from any of her kids. So that may be bothering to her.
Did you and you saying that, KD, did the word understanding ever, like, was that what you were going after, like understanding?
What you mean?
Like,
what you mean?
Sometimes
for BlackRoses to understand the reason why she's acting.
Well, no, like for one of the children to end up like that, that person would understand her.
Right. Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I think that's what she's trying to say. One person.
You know what? You know why I'm so sensitive to mental health is because I've seen a lot of it in my life. My grandmother scared me one day. I walked in the room and she was talking. She was having a strong ass conversation
with herself,
and it wasn't nothing on but Miss Chancellor on the screen. And it scared me because I had heard, but I had never really seen anything other than people fighting each other or cussing each other out. But that was the side of mental disorder that they talk about in books.
Yeah.
Or on the Oprah shows. And it softened me to a point where now I understand why my mother and all her sisters have bits and pieces of my grandmother they have. And I've come in the room and I've caught each one of them talking to themselves. And it scared me, because for you to get to that point, that means that's years of you not dealing with something.
That's years of you not dealing with something.
I'm real sensitive to it, not as an excuse, but we don't recognize that mental disorder sometimes is out of that person's control. So to say if they could just, why can't they just
connect?
Because often it is out of their control. When that's my aunt, like when I asked her a question and she say what, I knew she was in click mode. So I knew how to back up out of that, and she wouldn't even feel no way about you, because it was something in her that said, "Okay, I'm about to click." And you could see now, I can see her now working with herself to not. As soon as I hear what, I knew that was click time. So we not gonna bother her. And that's how we've learned to deal with it. But that turned into her stabbing people, fighting people, and it was all to keep our children protected, so they didn't go through what she went through. And just knowing that, it hurts my heart. But we are so unforgiving to things about ourselves as Black people that we have no control over. Yet, the stuff that we have choices in, we fine with that. The outward choices, the outcomes, we good with that.
Yep.
But when it's something that I don't have control over, we are not forgiven to that. That crazy word is uh but I'm when I do stumble across your social media and I see moments, like I think you just posted something where she was talking on the phone and you just had it up. I think you were filming her and she didn't know it at first. And
For me,
I'm looking at and not to just make you a case study in this moment, but I understand where you have pockets, but then to always feel like when that shoe about to
for
drop.
me,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you have
posted my
post,
mother.
I don't know if it was an old video or yeah, I think she was on the phone. You said she was on the phone with her boyfriend, and you were
No, that's my
filming
best
her.
friend.
She was
That's my
sitting on
best
the
friend.
couch.
No, that's my best friend. That's not my mother.
Was it your mother?
No, that's not my
See,
mother.
I
That's my
thought that
best
was
friend.
your mother this whole time.
No,
But
no,
this,
no,
I really thought that was your mother.
no. My mother's a total no. That's my best friend.
See, I thought that was your mother. So throw
No,
all that other
absolutely.
shit out the way, because that's the what I was about to say was just
Oh, that's
in
your mother.
those
No.
moments. No, but just
You
in
can make
those
it a case
moments,
study
those
on somebody else.
pocket moments where you had good moments with her, it is overshadowed by what's not even what has happened in the past, but what's to
But it's what's
come.
to come.
Because you don't
I,
know
and
who you're
yeah,
about to get in that moment.
and even though we're talking about even though the wrong image for the person, the right
Right.
circumstance, because even
Right.
in going out and hanging out with her, it's like, damn. You know me. I like to drink. I love me a cocktail. I love me a shot. I love me a little Angry Orchard on the side. But even in doing that, I know that damn, she's on number
Not
4.
all of that at one time, though.
She's on number 6. It's about to be some shit. You know, it's gonna be some. Anybody could say the wrong thing, and it's gonna go on a tangent, or anybody could say the right thing, and it's gonna go on a, and it's like
Like it don't
I don't
matter. You could just say, "Oh, girl, you were pretty." What?
I
I don't
think your
even.
mother is an emotional drinker.
My mother is a person who doesn't need to
Mm.
drink because it's gonna always be some shit, whether it's with me, you, or whoever. But it's always gonna be. It's not my fault though. I didn't do it. I didn't do that. You know, it'll be. I can go out with Kid. Don't know Kid from Adam and or Nate. Let me just use Nate because she know you. I can go out and have drinks with Nate, and it's still gonna be some shit because Nate said something that I don't agree with, and I'm about to go off on him. You know,
Well,
it's
warn me,
like a
baby,
constant.
please, because I at least need to
It's
know
a
where it's coming from.
He said, "I need to know where it's coming from."
so you think of
But
about
see, but
that.
see, but see, with alcohol, people really think that's why I'm afraid to drink. I'm really afraid to drink because the person you saw on my birthday last year, that's what
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that person coming out. Because if you saw the photos we took outside, you were like, oh Nate, it's time to
You
go
were
home.
drunk.
But I'm not a drunk that way. But
Mm-hmm.
it's a vulnerability that comes out of me that I'm not comfortable with. Because I'm not touchy feely with people. If you saw the text messages I sent to people that night, I don't. That's not comfortable to me because it's not, and people have to understand addiction is crazy.
Addiction is a
It is
ridiculous.
it is crazy because even in my moments, and I can't even say moments because I don't drink. Like that was a birthday thing, and you can't challenge me because I'm gonna take the challenge, especially if it's a free challenge. But
Mm-hmm.
it like alcohol takes control of you.
Mm-hmm.
I am not. You don't ever see flirtatious Nate. You don't ever see sexual Nate. You don't see that person.
Nope.
I work hard to keep that person on the inside. Like, like you got to stay at bay because this is porn star Nate. That's where that goes to. So
Okay.
that's why I don't drink, not for no other reason. That's why you'll never see me doing drugs. Because if
Mm-hmm.
alcohol will do that to me, a little Casamigo, what the hell that blunt will do to me?
Exactly.
But people, but I think often people know that. But some people, they'll go pick up another Casamigo, or they'll go pick up another fifth because it's going to take them away.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't realize that return trip is what's going to fuck you up.
That return trip.
Realization that
that
I
return
gotta keep
trip is
drinking.
gonna be a bit.
You know, them old men that stay drunk. Like, nigga, you get so drunk you don't even get drunk no more. You just function.
You don't even get drunk. You don't even know when you're drunk. You just end up slurring your words. Next thing you know. That's right.
But just understand, some people go to that place because it's safe for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't often even know what they are in that moment, because you have a drunk text somebody and then woke up the next day, you're like, I don't remember writing none of that.
You be like, I don't even remember calling you.
I don't even remember
talking to you.
I don't even have the proof to show you the things that I said to people that were in that room.
I have a friend who don't even want me to talk to them
let's just say I have a DJ friend now. Mm-mm. I have a DJ friend. I have a friend that I think he feels some kind of way about me now because I ain't never been drunk in front of him.
Mm-mm.
Let's just say that. Let's just throw that out there. But some people, that's a crutch for them. That's an escape for them.
It is.
And what is weird to me now, I am the age where we used to call people crackheads, like, oh, that's a crackhead. But now those crackheads are half my age now.
Now our generation are the crackheads.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they always been that age. We were just young.
That gonna smooth it out.
I won't take that chance. I haven't even had a drink since then. It's not something that I don't enjoy being taken away from myself. Right. Or not having control of my faculties. But it's somebody out there that feel they need that.
Right.
The same way the Xanax and all those things take you away. Why do you think it's people being addicted to Xanax?
Mm-hmm.
Or e-pills? Because it's taking them away from a feeling that they are consistently having, probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we've just been able to look at our parents and say, I don't want that. But meanwhile, you run right into whatever that thing is.
Right.
Trying to not be them, you become them. And that's how they probably got into whatever that behavior was. Saying, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just gonna smoke a little weed until it's laced with something that take a hold of you. Now you trying to get that. That's what they said. Every drunk, every addict, they just trying to get back to that first time.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
But this was a very interesting conversation. That word is just a trigger for me because I think it's an excuse for people to write people off.
What word?
Not really, like Katie said, have the narcissistic. It's just a reason to write somebody off because it's a blanket statement now. If you disagree with me, you're a narcissist.
You're a narcissist. If you disagree with me,
you're mentally unstable.
You're a narcissist.
Right. If you're mentally unstable, you're a narcissist. Now they exist. And we know some narcissistic people. We know them very well. They're probably neighbors. They probably sleep in your bed. But
they probably your brother, your sister.
Everything right, but it's not all. We make mental health seem like it's malicious. Like I got crazy as fuck just to fuck with you.
That again. We make mental health feel like it's malicious.
I just want to say that. I just want to say that the biggest narcissist I know is my mother. No, she's standing right here.
I think for us, we have to.
If she's laughing or live or this live, please don't be there.
But no, for real, speaking on that subject, I just want to really quickly, I don't know if this is inappropriate, but I'm going to say it anyway. My mother's birthday tomorrow, so y'all say happy birthday to Angie.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
To I.Am.She
biggest birthday. Supporter. I thought did she already come up here?
No.
Is that already coming out? Oh, okay.
No, she didn't come up.
I'll have a gift for her when she gets here.
Oh, you heard him.
But Yeah.
I think that
I just hear how you talk, and I have cousins and family members that talk like that, and I want another option for you. Like, there has to be another option
For who?
for you.
For you.
What you
You
mean?
talking to me?
What you mean? Talk like what?
The three of us got issues. So
I don't have no
but
issues
specifically in your
because
situation,
I
there
don't have
has
no
to be
issues
another.
because I do
Says
what you don't.
every insane person. I don't have any issues.
I don't because I do what you don't. I indulge the alcohol with other things, and I'm good. I'm balanced. Leave me alone.
No, but I just want more choices for us. So,
You right.
a part of me now was trying to figure out what family therapy would look like for me, my sister, and my mother. And I know it's going to be a lot of lying and anger in that room initially. I don't know what would happen after. I know only what I would want to happen from it.
I
But
don't
I
even
am
think that would be
in my mind
possible.
imagining what that would feel like.
You know, I ain't gonna lie. I thought about contacting Iyanla when she had her show, but I know that I
did. I just didn't get picked.
You went crazy enough.
I wrote that long letter. I wrote a real long letter.
One is not gonna show up. One is in prison, so he can't show up. You know,
I could do a video thing with him.
The other ones are gonna just be like
But you
gaslighting.
need, but see, you're waiting for all. Like for me, I was waiting for my sister to make time, and she's never gonna make time. But if I demonstrated that to her, I know for sure she may not want to go to therapy, but it will change the way she looks at stuff. Because what is happening is she is now having that same relationship with my daughter.
I was going to therapy for a very long time, and none of my siblings was like, "Oh, let me figure out how to go to therapy as well." You know, I even offered for one of my sisters to, you know, I can hook you up with a therapist in the company, and it was like, no.
But don't that sound like you come to church with me? But don't that sound like that?
I'm gonna just say this. Her reply was, "They're gonna leave me like everybody else does," and I knew then that was it.
But see, that's the thing. Okay, y'all. I done heard all y'all say I need to go to therapy. I have been to therapy. I've been in therapy my whole daggone life, just about. My mother and them are firm believers in therapy to the point where people used to call us white kids. I don't know why, but they used to say, "Oh, y'all white kids. Y'all parents send y'all to therapy." From the time they got to separation, divorce, even before then, there was something that we needed to go to therapy for. Specifically my mother felt like some things your kids just won't tell you. So I have been in and out of therapy. Even now, you know, all of us go to some type of therapy, but I don't know. It just don't work for me.
What are you?
I don't know if I just don't want to hear what they're telling me.
It's your expectation. What are you expecting from therapy?
Nothing, because I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, just tell. No, okay, I know.
But the fact that but see, some people go to therapy thinking she got a magic wand, and
right,
or
that's
he
me.
has a
That's
magic
what I was going
wand,
to say. That's me.
And I'm gonna come out of that meeting feeling like Superman. No,
that's the
therapy
thing. Right.
is simply to help you organize your own thoughts. They hold
that's
a
what I
mirror
want.
up to you.
You're right. That's what I want. I just want somebody just tell me what's wrong with me, because it's nothing necessarily that I can think back.
No,
I've had those
no. Don't go into therapy looking for somebody to diagnose you. No, you know
I have been diagnosed.
But you say it like you mean it. You want someone to validate what you feel.
No, I have been diagnosed. I'm diagnosed with major depressive disorder and anxiety. I have been diagnosed.
That's
how you gonna say nothing wrong with you, but something wrong with you?
But that's what I just said.
It's no, because I can't understand the reason. It's nothing. I promise y'all. I promise y'all, it's nothing traumatic.
Why am I feeling this? How did this happen
from your
me?
From your stories, it's nothing that I can think of that is traumatic to the point why I am the way I am. I wasn't abused when I was little. I wasn't, it's certain things. it's hard for me because I don't know why. The reason why I have these feelings, or the reason why I feel a certain way, I don't know
That's what
why.
I'm trying to tell you. That's why you don't go to therapy for somebody to tell you what's wrong with you. Because sometimes
And
it
what's the
just
point?
happens. Sometimes you're born with that chemical imbalance. Sometimes
Oh, okay.
it's just environment. Sometimes somebody put their finger in your vagina when you was 3.
Right.
Sometimes you had a healthy,
My mom be in jail.
connection with sex and affection and emotions. Sometimes
No,
you could have the best parents and you still struggling with doubt, depression, or self-doubt, or sometimes it's just who you met later on in life can trigger emotional response.
true.
It
Yeah.
could be,
So the
God wanted you for your
energy
body. It was nothing
transfer.
you did.
So you don't,
It was
yeah, energy
them.
transfer. You don't know who you might have gotten that energy from. You don't know who might have put
True.
that on you. Anything can come from anywhere.
Probably all my friends from Park Heights.
Hmm.
She ain't hear me.
Well, she heard you. She trying to figure out what she
No.
about to text you in that private chat. That's what she's trying to figure out.
See, I told you she ain't hear
Huh?
me.
What you trying to say about me?
No, I don't know.
It could
I
be
mean, you did
anything.
tell me a piece of it. You told me a piece of it a couple weeks ago in another conversation, that it's not, especially with just like the touching and the hugging and stuff, you said
Mhm.
it could be just too overbearing, and that causes me not to be as affectionate, which when you put it like that, that may be the issue. It's just too overbearing. And
I
I
know
never
for
looked at it like
me,
that.
I know for me, touching and feeling was not a part of life. It was, my family didn't do that. Only time I think my uncle Johnny was the kisser and the hugger in the family. And
Mm.
people treated him like he was a weirdo. So that in my mind from a young age, touching and hugging and kissing each other, that's for weirdos. Like, and it's something that simple that's implanted in a child. That's why you have to watch what you say around children,
Mm-hmm.
because they start taking on this like everything is weird to children. You're being weird right now. No, I am telling you, your behavior is wrong. That's not
Right.
weird. That's
That's my
true.
son go to.
So a
You being
child will
weird.
say to you, "That's weird. You're being weird right now."
Mm-hmm. That is my oldest son.
No,
You being weird. That is his go-to. And it's
right? But that's
crazy
what that's
because
something
I'm
that children are
noticing.
saying now. Anything that makes you feel uncomfortable is weird.
That's what I gotta say. He is just like me. He do not. My husband do it on purpose. He the oldest. He's 14, but my husband will go up to him, give him a hug, and give him a kiss on the cheek, and he gets so torn with that. He cringes like me, like, why are you doing? Like, no.
Oh, and I'm speaking as a young male. At some up until one point, you were in love with your mother. Till it borderline. You need to get that child some fucking help.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
that child was exposed to what sexuality, something about sexuality. I'm not even gonna say what it is. Something about it. Whether they saw a porno or they saw something, and then your mother repulses you. Your sister repulses you because you're learning. It's like the moment Adam and Eve realized they were naked. That happens to children at various ages.
Mm-hmm.
It's some men that still has not happened to yet.
Right.
They still have a very uncomfortable connection with their mom. And we say uncomfortable because we now know that we're naked. But there was
Right.
a point where I was in love with my mother. Like when she didn't come home, I started dreaming of everything that could have happened to her. Like, and she was just out with her friends, or she was at work, and I'm thinking a car hit her, or somebody shot her in her forehead, like crazy stuff. And
Mm.
that's what happens when your significant other, you don't come home, and then your mind goes to a crazy place. But then
Right.
there was a moment where my mother breathing got on my nerves. Just breathing. That lady was just doing what God gave her the ability to do, breathe. Or she would say things, or she would yell, and it would just get on my nerves. Well, that's when the relationship changed. And I started seeing the realities. At some point, the veil is being lifted over your head. So people can't tell you that Santa Claus is real because you just saw your mother, you just saw a receipt for the same toys that's under the fucking tree with your mother's credit card number on it. So it's things that are introduced to us that can bring about trauma.
Trauma, yeah, that's true.
Somebody being called your mom your whole life, and you realize that was really your grandmother. That can bring about trauma. Now, what happened to you before that point was crazy, but you didn't know what it was. But the moment you learn something, now you're questioning it. Now everything you said to me is a lie until proven otherwise.
Exactly.
And it's a strange place for us to grow up in or to be in, but
I think you know what? I think you just gave me a revelation. I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, I never thought about the fact that I didn't learn until I got older that my father wasn't my father. I always thought my stepfather, who was my brother's father.
But you had no idea.
Married? No. Not until I got older. And it wasn't even that. So I was always teased by my uncles and them, like, you know, your father is, you know who your father is, or they would sing his song and be like, you know, that's your father. But I never paid attention. I'm just like, why y'all playing?
Yeah, I remember you saying that before.
But it wasn't never anything that was told to me until I turned. Matter of fact, when I met my husband, I was in my early 20s, and my mom called me and said, hey, somebody wants to meet you. Come around to such and such. And I told my husband, who then boyfriend, said, my mother wants me to come meet somebody. You gonna go with me? He was like, yeah. Went around and he was like, you know who this is? I'm like, no, I don't know who this nigga is. She was like, it's your father. Wait a damn minute.
And how ironic you fell in love with a rapper.
Wait a damn minute. Because my father, I just talked to him. I just came out of the house that he just bought me. Wait a minute.
And it could be something that, and I'm not trying to make that a small thing, but it could be that one thing that just changes how you relate. And subconsciously, something was never right with you.
Right.
In terms of other people.
Right.
And we tell children half truths, but children are smarter than we are. And they can tell when something's missing or when things aren't being said. Like, it just happens. And it could be something that is so unassuming. Like,
that
a parent doesn't know not telling you the truth is going to affect you as an adult. They just think that they're protecting you.
Nate, I'm not paying you for this, just to let you know. But that may be the trigger.
I'll send the bill next month. I'll send you that invoice for the first.
But because as you talking, I'm like, that, you know what? That may just be the trigger that makes me not want to be, not want people to like hug and be like, you know, touchy feely. Because if I'm thinking about it the way you said it now, it is a trust that was broken by nobody never really telling me that. But all my life, I've gotten hugs and I've been, you know, my mother's always hugged me and said, I love you. So that trust has been broken. So I feel like I may be putting that together where I don't know if I can trust you. These hugs, these kisses and stuff, you still might not be telling me the truth.
Because it's not that you feel like their love is fake, but they, in essence, there was a lie told.
Right.
And now I don't believe it. And often you react to outside people. Your relationship with them may not have never changed, but how I look at a new person now, you're going to lie to me.
Right. But you're not getting paid for this.
So I'm gonna go back to how I worded the topic, because what I heard from what you wrote was narcissistic nurturing, and those words seem like they're polar opposites. But I'm still giving you something.
Right.
It may be toxic, it may be helpful, it may be love, it may not be. But how am I nurturing you? And now I'm going into friendships differently now. I'm the person who I used to always say to myself, all my relationships are unspoken. And I used to where I thought that was a good thing because we don't have to talk about it. No, it's some shit that need to be talked about. Because when I feel like I'm being controlled, I don't say anything. I just get
Mhm.
ghosts. You
Mm.
just don't see me the way you used to see me. Instead of
Right.
me just saying, "Hey, that feels controlling. Stop. Why are you doing this?" We don't
That's the
do
issue.
that.
That's the
But
issue.
like you just said, it could be something that happened to you, a discovery later in life. You said you were already grown.
Right.
That could feel crazy.
That could affect you in so many ways that you don't even know.
Right. You
I
know,
can't even imagine taking somebody my dad and then coming years later like, oh, this your dad. Like, no, I don't know you.
Because that's
because
literally
how
the
do you
house I
deal with that
came from.
mentally?
And then
Have you had to rebuild the relationship with your stepdad? Or did you just continue on with it?
no, we had the same relationship. We have of course, after their divorce, I guess he felt like, we are older, so we really don't need as much, like attention as much as, oh, I need to be in your life actively anymore. But no, we still have the same relationship. It's just now it's confusing because another thing that happened, I hate to say it, because I don't know if my real father watching, but
Hey,
another thing
Dad.
that happened is another thing that happened is my real father threw me off because I'm not used to this, but what he said something like this towards another sibling of mine, she who has a stepdad as well. Her mother is married to another man who kind of same situation, played a
Mm-hmm.
part in her life forever, and that's the only father she knew. So when Father Day came or his birthday or something, she had made a post, was like, yeah, this is my daughter's grandfather, da 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 da. And he like went off, our real father went off, like, she up there posting this nigga saying this her that ain't my granddaughter's real granddad. I'm the
Why
only
you mad,
granddad.
Dad?
So it kind of made me feel like, damn, I'm almost scared to post a man that I've known all my life to say, hey, this is my dad. Happy. Like I almost feel uncomfortable to mention my dad, who is my dad, to in a sense, in the same sentence or in a conversation, because of how he might take it. Like, that ain't your real father. What you talking about? I'm your, but I don't know you. I don't know you.
Right. I don't know you. You can't get mad that
And
I don't
and,
know
and
you. It's
right,
partly your
right,
fault that I don't know you.
I don't know you.
right.
Well,
I
it's not.
never understood how men
I
get
ain't gonna
mad.
put his personal business out there,
I
but it's
never
not.
understood why
He
some
got he
men
got
get
stuck
mad when another
over
man.
he got stuck over in Germany for a little bit, but we're not gonna go in a personal situation.
My thing is, I never understood why certain men get mad when another man step up, and then therefore I'm calling this man my dad. This is my dad. I
But
don't
this is
know you.
but this is where it gets tricky though, because it wasn't like he was just a deadbeat, just not being around and just never coming around. I gotta remember, my father is also a famous artist. He got stuck in Germany when they were really like big for some other stuff.
Mhm.
Basically, he got locked up in Germany. He was stuck. Like, what's it called? Like Britney. He was stuck. So
Mhm.
he had just came home. He did a long time over in Germany. So he had technically, it wasn't him just not being
Oh, I know who exactly.
available. He couldn't.
Mhm.
So that's the case.
But
It's a real
but
sticky situation.
yeah, but it and it's hindsight can be 20/20 or just fucked up blurred vision because
Right.
it's how you receive it. And I think sometimes that affects the person that's always been there worse than the new person because I can just come in and we can create this narrative from now, but now you're looking back like, well, what the hell was this? If this is what this is, then what was that?
Right.
And that's that's a thing that I I couldn't believe. I found myself mourning a man who I found out in my 30s at first didn't believe I was his, but
Mm.
never took any steps to rectify it. Then when I began to meet siblings who also experienced the same thing, I'm like, these tears are dried up. Next, what's next? What else I got inside of me that need to get out? Because I'm not gonna give the attention to this that I have been giving it, going back and forth with it,
Right.
and being angry at my mom and being frustrated. Like, why would you choose somebody? Well, he was handsome, he was cute. Everybody wanted to do it to him. So why
Right.
wouldn't she have been the person to choose him? But that's a
Right.
hell of a prize. But but sometimes that's why a lot of this stuff needs to be talked out. And sometimes it may be hard for a parent to hear it or a sibling to hear it, but sit there, shut the fuck up, and just listen to somebody vent because they've been holding on to pieces of a story. They don't even have the whole story. God forbid that person pass away. You're lucky that both your parents, your birth parents, are still here. Your surrogate parents are still here, so you can have imagine the people who this one have passed away, this one ain't never been seen since, and can't have those conversations.
Conversation, yeah.
So now you're raw. It's like a tape that breaks at certain points. It's gonna play, but when you go to rewind it, it's gonna still skip at that same spot every time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, this was a really helpful conversation.
It was.
Was it
I
really?
hope
Was
you
it
guys
really?
It was.
Are
It
we
really
gonna have
was.
the same conversation next week?
No, we're
Nope.
not going to have a conversation next week. So next week, y'all make sure y'all tune in because next week we're going to really try to get this coverage on this Tyree Nicholas thing. That was terrible. Tyree Nichols. I'm sorry. Not Nicholas. I don't want to mispronounce his name. Tyree Nichols. We're going to talk more and get more into some commentaries.
Policing in the Black community when it
Absolutely.
comes to us.
Absolutely. Because I feel like this is going to...
I'm gonna post it on the Instagram page, and I'm gonna challenge them to have that conversation this week, so they can have not just what they think, but how other people see this. Because there's some people who won't even look at the video.
Right.
I looked at it, and
I was very disturbed. I was so disturbed.
Y'all know,
Are you more angry? Are you more angry that he was beat, or that it was black men beating him?
I'm more angry that he was beat.
Absolutely. But I'm even angry. I am more angry that he is beat, but I'm also angry that they were black men because you know how bad this is going to set us back because we so used to and we have been progressing and moving towards trying to stop these white people from beating on us. And now y'all making it seem like it's okay. Now y'all, our own.
For me, it's more to it than just that because as a black community, as a black nation, we are so far back. We ain't even nowhere near coming to taking steps to come move ahead.
So has it come out? Because I was one of the ones that once you sent it to me, I had already started hearing it. Like I just kept seeing people saying, I'm not watching those videos.
I watched it.
I didn't know what they were talking about. So was it a reason this happened? Or they saying he was running? Or
it was a reason that they said it happened, but we're gonna get into that next week so we can have everybody come back.
I mean, I want to say the reason. I know I listen to a person who does YouTube radio, and he is from Memphis, and I think I can say the reasoning that was said why it happened. I can say that, but that's next week.
So tune in. So make sure you guys tune in. Thank you guys so much for joining the show today. Thank you for all your comments.
Black History Month. So what a way to go into Black History Month.
Right. Definitely. We got to do something good. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for your support as always. Thank you guys so much. Share,
subscribe, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Like, share, subscribe.
Definitely. And if you want to become a sponsor, as always, or at the bottom, like you see, if you want to do like your advertisement for your business, we are always here. We have, great packages for you guys to advertise your businesses, just to get yourself out there. If you want to become a guest or you want to become a guest to chime in on next week's conversation, that's a good one. You can hit us up at PodcastIAmShe@gmail.com or on our Facebook and Instagram, IamShe.com. But most importantly, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And that's our show. Y'all have a great Saturday. I'm the cheerleader.
Oh, that's the wrong one.